So by definition, a rectangle is a quadrilateral with 4 right angles. That's it. If it has 4 sides and 4 right angles, then it falls under the specific category of rectangle. There's a couple of theorems that go with rectangles. So the first is that if a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then it's also a parallelogram. So remembering all the definitions that we learned about parallelograms, so things like 2 sets of parallel sides, opposite sides that are congruent, and so forth, all of those are also true about rectangles. So rectangles are parallelograms. However, a parallelogram isn't necessarily a rectangle. So it's like the umbrella term that rectangle fits under. It's just a more specific type of parallelogram. So if you're like looking at categories, the big umbrella is quadrilaterals. Then we go to parallelograms, and now we're going more specifically to rectangles. We're going to get even more specific with a square, but we're not doing that yet. Another thing that is true about rectangles, but not necessarily all parallelograms, is that its diagonals are congruent. So what I've done on the next slide is I've just summarized all the things that are true about rectangles based on what we learned last time and what we added today. So rectangles have 2 sets of parallel sides. Its opposite sides are congruent. Its opposite angles are congruent, so the ones that are across from each other. The angles that are next to each other add up to be 180. Our diagonals will bisect to create 2 congruent segments. A rectangle has 4 right angles and congruent diagonals. So all of these things are true to describe a rectangle.